What's going on? Welcome to Totally Blitz Podcast. We're here breaking out UFC Fight Night Kai Kara Vance versus Amir Albazi. Before we get into it, go down, like and subscribe, comment your thoughts on who's gonna win, how they're gonna win, and your picks for this whole card. As always, I'm Paul, pick and win 'em contra. I got some drinks poured up, and who's with me?
You already know it. If you didn't know, I don't mind telling you again. It's that boy Kev Waterboy Savoy, aka the Don PYE, aka the realest motherfucker on your screen. You feel me?
Second
You
realist.
smell me. Paul, let me know, man. It's Kai Car France. I'm screaming CKB for life. Oh man. But the main event is two flyweights. I don't think I've seen this before. I think I've seen two flyweight women's main event card. I don't think I've seen two flyweight
Nah, bro, you
males.
don't. That's when you know the UFC don't give a fuck about a card. Is if it's fucking two. You don't even let the. They don't ever even let the champions fight as the main event and on their own cards, bro. Look at Moreno versus Figgy. All those fights co-main events, and then now look at the one they just made with Pantoja versus Moreno, co-main event. Like they don't let these people fight at main event status. So for them to be not non-ranked, both ranked, don't get me wrong, but it'd be a non-title fight for a main event at flyweight. Should let you know what they think about this June 3rd card, brother.
I mean, it's June 3rd, you feel me? My ass is currently in Africa right now, but you know what I'm saying? I have a nice little green screen that looks I have a walk around setup, Paul. I actually walk around with my wall behind me. It's portable and everything.
Hey, brother, you gotta do what you gotta do, bro.
Nah, but that's just a five. But I mean, I think this is just one of those times where I think they're slowing things are slowing down. They had a really early top had really early a lot of hitters back to back to back to back to back when it came to UFC. I know you weren't a fan of the last like maybe 3 or 4 fight nights. I can't relate. I enjoyed them, but I think this is just that wall. Like they're trying to set up for the end of the year, because especially since this is the 30th year, they want to make sure that you remember at the end of the year. So it's going to be really, really memorable. We got people like John Jones fight. They're still trying to set up the John Jones MSG. They got the UFC Boston set up. So I think it's gonna be interesting. I mean, like this will be another one of those cards that like they set it up to not do well, but there's gonna be some fun moments.
And there's gonna be some good moments. I mean, you got two vets. Shout out to the vets on the card. Andre Orlovsky, 34-21. One of those old school great heavyweights from back in the day that just loves fighting. So he never retired. He's still gonna fight. And then my other boy, Jim Miller, been on UFC 100, UFC 200, and people think he probably will be there for UFC 300, and he'll be the one and only to do that. But he's going to play, both of them big underdogs. Point that out. But Jim Miller plus 205, and he's going up against Ludovic Klein, who's actually been on a nice little run also. So I mean, at least they put them on the main card, so that'd be nice.
Doesn't Jim Miller have the record for most UFC wins?
Most UFC wins, I think like top two for fight of the night bonuses, top two for like knockout bonuses. Because this is their OGs is whenever their bonuses are separated. Oh, you had a knockout bonus. Oh, they're still doing the submission bonuses. Oh, they're doing that still. Like when you start seeing like not only fight of the night performances, but like the other bonuses, it is kind of fun. But like at 39 years old, 39 years young, I apologize. But I like Jim Miller. It's gonna be a fun little fight. But I mean, like that's on the main card. That's usually a fight you see on the prelims on a fight night, even on a fight night. So should let us you know how deep of a fight night this is. It's not that deep, but I mean, he still got some hitters like Guillermo Kutateladze. He's going up against Jamie Malarkey. Should win this fight. Only has 2 fights in the UFC. One is a split decision win over Martius Gamrot. Yes, that Gamrot. And that was Garam's UFC debut, and he beat Gamrot. And in a split decision loss, which also some people, it's a very close fight. It could have went either way, to Demir Usugulov, who very high level fighter. Yes, he just got beat by Armin Tsarukyan, but Armin Tsarukyan is a fucking world beater. He is on his way to go fight for a title, and it's not a bad loss on your record. So like those are two like his two fights, first fights in the UFC are just against super high level opponents. So he beat one and lost the other. I'm not gonna hold that against him. Minus 300 favorite. So she'll let you know how much like this guy is actually legit. I can't wait to watch him fight. He's a great fighter, great stand up fighter.
Fight of the night. If I think you're gonna get a fight of the night bonus, a performance bonus.
I can't give him my fight of the night pick. It can't be that one just because I think Guram is just gonna like. It's hard to be fight of the night when you're like outdoing your opponent by so much. Like you gotta have someone to dance. It's like dancing. You gotta have a dance partner. If you don't have a dance partner, you're not winning the team. You're not winning the bonus. So like, I don't think he has a partner for it. The fight after them, another flyweight fight, and the first main card fight, I think is gonna be the fight of the night. It's Victor Altamirano versus Tim Elliott. And if y'all don't know what the fuck is going on in Tim Elliott's world right now, I ain't gonna put my dog's dirty laundry out there to air. But just know he's coming in with a fuck you mindset. Fuck the world. Fuck everyone that's inhabiting it. I'm gonna fucking murder this motherfucker here. As if he's Kevin Cruz.
Oh man, you're so honorable just not putting out the man's business. That's some real shit, man. Me personally, this is international. This is international. This is international media we got right here. People are listening to us.
He did tweet it himself. He did tweet it himself.
I don't mind telling you. I don't care if Tim Elliott whispered it to me and closed the door. I would have told y'all. Motherfucker, this man Tim Elliott posted a picture showing on his wedding night of one of his best friends who was his best man carrying and holding his rings. And then come to find out his wife was having an affair the entire time. And I'm gonna get real vulgar. He fucked her that night of the wedding type shit. And they were having an affair the entire time and he posted that bitch. So when I tell you Tim Elliott is coming distraught, hurt, ready to kill. Oh, this is gonna be a good one.
I don't even know what to do with these. That's all. I'm not the biggest thanker, but I'm the biggest punisher, bro. That's what Tim Elliott's coming in with.
And that was his teammate. Like, oh
Kevin
yeah,
Kroom.
He's ready to fuck some shit.
Kevin Kroom, who's now in the bare knuckle boxing promotion, and Gina Mazzani, who went like 1-2 in her UFC career and got kicked out the UFC. So like, the trash belongs with the trash. And that's no disrespect to the the bare knuckle fighting promotion. That's no disrespect to any other promotions. But fuck them. And fuck you too, bro.
Yeah, that's pretty grimy. I'm not gonna lie to you. On his wedding night, I would have. Yeah, I would have went to bare knuckle. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Someone asked, bro, where were you on your wedding night? Like, why weren't you? Because it's your wedding night. That man said, I had to go home to put the kids to sleep. I was sitting there like, bro,
damn,
this bitch, fuck. Like, I was right, bro. I had the pitchfork and all, bro, and I wasn't gonna use it to sit there and like petition. Nah, bro, I was gonna use that pitchfork to stab that bitch in her fucking chest, bro. I was out for blood, man. I wasn't even a Tim Elliott fan, but this made me a fucking fan, bro. And I'm sorry, Victor Altamirano.
I'm not gonna lie.
About to be locked into a cage. Bro, you're gonna have 15 minutes with this man who fucking bro.
Oh man, yeah, I couldn't imagine that situation. I hope. I'm hoping for his mental health. One thing we don't talk about enough is men's mental health. I'm hoping for his mental health. He's using it, but I'm praying that he uses this shit like it's like a Drake album or something, like a good album, like a good Adele album, fresh off a heartbreak. I need it. I need him to fight like that.
Bro, and just have the stretchers ready, bro, because this might be the first murder in the cage. Just have the stretchers ready, bro. Have the paramedics on side, bro. Just know that like Tim Elliott's not coming to beat a man. He's coming to beat a man an inch of his life.
But here's the thing: we put all this respect on, bro. What if he goes in there and he's just like the entire time he's been thinking about his wife and his teammate? He doesn't even feel comfortable training in the same place he trained with a teammate. So like he's coming to start thinking about maybe another thing that he gets KO'd. I mean, his clock clean because he's just a step too late. Because remember, this is an MMA fighting. This is seconds matter, milliseconds fucking matter in the sport, and just get caught with a mean one.
Yep, and I will say he's fighting a Mexican fighter And as you know, Dana's been handpicking some of these good ass Mexican fighters because he's trying to build up UFC Mexico, bro. Like former LFA champ comes into the UFC 3-1 in the UFC. Like who? I mean, I hope not because if Tim Elliott goes in there and gets knocked out, who knows? Maybe I'm gonna be a Kevin Kroom fan. Maybe Kevin Kroom knew something I didn't know, bro.
I'm fucking crying. I mean, I don't have a dog in this fight for real. I mean, I would root for another Kevin, but now I want to see Tim Elliott kill some shit.
No, but Kevin Kroom is the his friend that was having the affair.
Oh,
That's why I was saying if
okay.
Tim Elliott ends up getting the dub, I mean Tim Elliott ends up getting knocked down, like well, maybe Kevin Kroom wasn't wrong.
Nah, man, that bitch is his homeboy is definitely a fuck nigga, but that bitch is shiesty. You fucked a nigga on your wedding night. Like, at least have some type of like, if you're gonna do that, at least don't make it like just like so grimy. Like,
Right. She was reading.
ah,
She was reading that. So the picture that was a picture of her reading the vows to their children. So she took the extra step to read vows to the child, and like people started making it like it's one thing to like if people start breaking it down like a marriage isn't just between you and it's like you and God. Like it's a covenant between y'all two and God. Like so like if you're religious, like God's watching. Like this is you're not only making this promise to you, like, this is a promise to God. And like for you to be willing to put God into this sticky situation, bro, that's some grimy level shit, bro.
the grimiest. Like, I only wish that I hope she gets a paper cut, like counting money to pay her rent that she's late on. Like, we only wish the worst for her.
Hope you get a paper cut every time you pick up a piece of paper. I hope every time you get out of bed, you stub your toe, you nasty bitch. But
Nigga, savage.
but let's get into this main event. Enough of the negativity. Let's get into this flyweight main event. Amir Albazi minus 120 in a pick'em fight against Kai Kara France plus 100. Kai Kara France coming off of his loss in the interim title fight against Brandon Moreno, but he did have three great wins before that. One over a knockout of the year candidate against Cody Garbrandt, an ass whooping against Askarov, and a KO, another first round KO over Boturin. And then Amir Albazi, 16-1. Oh, this will be his fifth fight in the UFC. Four fights so far. He's won. He has a submission, first round submission over Malcolm Gordon, a unanimous decision over Sumagulov. Sumagulov is a high level fighter who has a lot of split decision losses. So don't let his record fool you. A lot of those fights are super close. And then he has a submission win in the first round against Francisco Figueiredo, Figueiredo's older brother, the God of War Figgy's older brother, and then gets a knockout win over Costa to lead him into the fight. I will say Kai Kara France definitely has had the better resume of fighters, like a win over Askarov. Askarov at the time was ranked number 2 in the division, right behind Moreno, and no one wanted to fight Askarov because he could submit anybody and everybody. And Kai Kara France, he looked shaky in the first round, but round 2 and 3, he just absolutely like he stuffed every takedown and was just beating the dog shit out of Askarov. And then he fights Brandon Moreno. Good fight in the first couple rounds. His body after so much body pummeling, he couldn't take it no more. A couple liver shots later, he's done. But
I was
like,
about to say, didn't he get hit the liver?
yeah, it was just like his body was compromised. But like Albazi, like my one thing, like Albazi's the favorite, but like Costa, like he knocked out Alex Costa, right? Alex Costa, this is no disrespect to Alessandro Costa. 12-3. That was Costa's first fight in the UFC. Then he beats Francisco Figueiredo. I don't even know if Francisco Figueiredo is even fighting in UFC anymore. But even if he was never like top 50. Like he was just, oh, that's Figgy's older brother type of deal.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets the win over Zumagulov. Like I said, split decisions on a lot of Gulov's fights. It's hard to really tell how if he's really that great of a fighter. All his fights are super close. He should win half of them. Who knows? And then Malcolm Gordon. Malcolm Gordon is kind of like that. Hey, you're UFC flyweight. Here's Malcolm Gordon. Like, like this is your first fight in the UFC flyweight. This guy's been around. He can fight. He's not nothing too crazy. So like those four fights that I just told you, like nothing, none of them, none of his opponents, like one of them, his last fight, the guy's first fight in the UFC, Francisco Figueroa. Okay, cool, you beat him. Gulov, cool, I guess. But then like there's nothing that's really sitting there that's making me like the way he's beating them has been dominating. Like he's just one of those prospects that has been dominating since he came in. But they haven't given him that guy yet. That I really feel like we'll sit there and be like, okay, we can really judge how great of a fighter he is. Whereas Kai Kara France, we've seen him lose to Brandon Royval. Brandon Royval submits him. Royval's a great fighter. He just beat Mikolas Mateus Nicolau a couple fights ago, and everyone thought Nicolau was the next great one. But Royval was like, bro, I'm fucking top three for a reason. Showed out why he is. Then he KO'd Cody Garbrandt, gets the win over Askarov, loses to Moreno. But like, I don't know. It's just harder for me to really sit here and be like, how is Albazi the favorite when he hasn't really fought anybody close to this caliber of fighter? Like, yes, he has great takedowns. Yes, he can box. He's just one of those UFC. Like, he just came in. He's fresh, but he can do it all. He's knocked out people. He's submitted people. He gets 3 takedowns a fight. He's very dominant. But it's also just like he's been dominant against meh competition. Like I don't know. So
Yeah.
I want to hear what you think. Like I know you're a CKB guys. I know where you're going with it, but I just want you to like just know that these resumes aren't really stacking up that well. Like Kai Kara France resumes fucking up here. Albazi's is down here.
I appreciate you letting me know about the resume because I didn't know that. But like Kai Kara's like a knockout over Cody Garbrandt is aging really, really well after they've seen the last few performances from Cody Garbrandt. So like I think Kai Kara France is either number 2 or 3 in this division. I think not if Figgy's gone, Brandon Moreno. I got to see what him and Alexander Pantoja look like. But Kai Kara France is the truth, and it's just that the champion in this division is a fucking animal. Brandon Moreno only gets better every fight. So I respect, bro, the dude. He's a killer right now, but Kai Kara's from the fraud check him.
It's a fraud check week. Is it fraud check week?
I didn't know they put that much respect on bro, because I haven't really heard of him like that. But like if they put that much respect on, oh, it's a fraud check week.
I think I'm gonna have to lean with you, and only because like normally I would sit here and be like, well, Kai Kara France doesn't have the good takedowns, but like what we saw out of him in round 2 or 3 against Askarov, like where he was able to weather the storm of a takedown, and as a wrestler, Kev, you know, yes, they always like to tell you like the person defending the takedown and gets taken down, it's tiring, it's fucking you're on the bottom, you're carrying weight, da 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 da. The person shooting the takedown is fucking also gassed as fuck also usually because it takes so much energy to get him down. So for Askarov to get him down round 2 or 3, he was just it was almost 10-8 rounds. Like it was just how bad of an ass whooping it was. And I think Askarov's takedowns and takedown offense is a lot higher than his. But it's also because maybe I guess it is good matchmaking because it's hard for me to pick it because of like I know Albazi has been dominating people, but it just hasn't been Kai Kara France level of people. So I guess I do have to give a shout out to the matchmaking because if he does go in there and it looks really good, I can sit there and be okay, that makes sense on why you put him up against a top 5 guy. But I gotta lean Kai Kara France just because I've seen him able to stop. I mean, Moreno wasn't really able to get takedowns really either, and like you're going up against a kickboxer that's he's now used to 5-round fights. Like the Moreno fight didn't go 5 rounds, but you definitely know his cardio is ready for 5 rounds. And then the Askarov fight only went 3 rounds. Don't get me wrong, but like he was looking just as good in round 3 as he was looking in round 1. So I think his cardio is really good, and I just think this is just too far of a jump and a comp for me to really pick the guy who hasn't shown me against somebody that's really high level, and he's the favorite. There's all my betting instincts are telling me take the underdog here. I'm happy you said fraud check week because it is. It might be fraud check. Start of June is fraud check week.
There it goes. I respect it. You know, Eugene got a plan for that. They've been in the lab cooking something up. They're trying to go on the CP. CKB is hot right now. He's trying to keep up the hot streak.
That's true. But other than that, boys, we do gotta start heading out. So we broke down the card for you. We made our picks. We're both rocking CKB Kai Car France for the main event. And shout out Tim Elliott. Go in there and fucking do some damage. Garam Kudlatsi. Go show him why you should be a household name. Kev, you look like you want to say something.
I just want to see murder.
Murder, she wrote. Murder, she wrote.
Real shit.
But as always, we gotta head out of this bitch. We're happy y'all stay tuned. We're happy. Go down, like, and subscribe to the channel. It matters a lot to us. As always, this has been the Totally Blitz podcast. I'm Paul. Pick 'em, win 'em, Contra. That's Kev, Street Fight Enthusiast Savoy. And if y'all didn't know, well, now y'all know, motherfuckers.